It would have been easier if he would have died. I cannot tell you how many times I have heard that from women who have come into my office who have just found out their husband has had an affair. That is immediately followed up with, well, I don't really mean I wish he were dead, but if he would have died, I think it would have been easier. We've got all the papers in a little box. I know what to do if he dies. But this, I was never prepared for this. And the truth is, you can't. No one is prepared to deal with the aftermath of infidelity, whether it is the man or the woman who has stepped out on their relationship. The aftermath is painful. It's painful for all involved. It's painful for the one who has betrayed, for the betrayer, and for the person who was involved in this triangle. Everyone suffers. Affairs are tough, and dealing with the aftermath of an affair may very well be the biggest challenge that you have ever experienced. You start to become a crazy person. You feel like a detective on steroids, trying to figure out who, what, where, when. What was I doing at the time? Did my spouse bring that person into our home, into our bed? What happened? What did I miss? And then there's a question that almost everyone asked who has been betrayed. What did I do wrong? Or what's wrong with me? And the truth is, there's nothing wrong with you. While you may have regrets because maybe your relationship had gone a little stale, or you weren't communicating as effectively as you might have liked, the affair is not your fault. Even if you weren't connecting intimately or having sex as frequently as you might have liked, or even if the sex was non-existent, the person who had the affair is the one who made that choice. And you know what's interesting as well? People have so much judgment that they impose upon someone who has an affair until they experience it themselves. Then all decisions that you had made in the past have gone out the window. Decisions such as, if you ever cheat on me, I will leave. When it actually happens to you, believe me, it's a different story. While affair recovery is complex and unique based upon the circumstances of each couple, there are specific stages that people go through as they are recovering themselves in their relationships. I'm going to go through 3 keys to help you in the discovery phase, and that is shortly after you have found out that the person you loved has had an affair. The first key is be careful who you confide in. When you have experienced infidelity, there is a tendency to want to hurt the person who hurt you. You may want to tell his boss, his employees, his friends, his parents. What I would say to you is take a moment and pause. Before you do anything, take a breath, regroup. Reach out to somebody who can help you work through this. This is a tough time for you. This is a painful time. The more people you involve, the more difficult recovery can be. Take a time to pause. And that brings us to the second key. It is important to allow some space between your reaction and your upset and your shock and how you respond. Putting a pause helps ensure that you come from a more center and grounded place. There are times when you are going to feel crazy. Believe me, being on the other end of an affair is crazy making. You question your sanity. You try to stop those voices that keep running around inside of your head. Take a little time away. Go away for a weekend with a friend. Just give yourself some space and decide and make a choice regarding how you will respond. So I always point out the difference between reacting and responding. You react when you're in a space of trauma and chaos, and you say things you may later regret. When you put a pause and you take time to reflect, you can move into a place of response, which is a bit more centered and grounding, even though it feels like you're in the eye of a tornado with everything swirling around you. And the final key is to get help. Affairs are extremely difficult to recover from on your own. You are being hit with something totally unexpected. Seek out someone who has had experience with infidelity. You need someone who's not going to be judgmental and who can hold an open space for you and the two of you should you decide to do couples work to help you work through to the other side. Remember, healing takes time, courage, and commitment. When you are experiencing a crisis, there is also an opportunity. Talk about the things you have been avoiding. Speak your truth authentically and kindly. And at the end of this, you may end up with an even stronger connection than before the affair happened. I'm Dr. Jeanne Michele. If there's any way that I can help you through this, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.